So working with these artists, that's what I was going to ask you. Since you started, you got to see hip hop from the beginning when, like you said, with NWA and Luke and them was fighting against lyrics and being able to speak and say certain things. How do you feel about YSL and Young Thug and them being indicted and they're using their lyrics against them right now?
They're not really gonna use the only way. Let me give me a little history of me and Dallas. Right now, I'm on parole from an 83-year sentence where they got a law called the 7 deadly sins, where you damn near that's right up under the death penalty. I barely beat that. So I'm on parole till 2030, and I've been in Fulton County. That's where they at. So I know the system. Now, it's not the lyrics, it's what they told. See, it's like when police do a murder investigation and you hear it on the news. You won't hear all the evidence. That way they can keep away from cranks. Like when they lie about what they do and they exploit.
Yeah.
They don't worry and focus on that. But when you say something where only the suspect or the victim know, bingo. The same theory apply in the rap game. When you saying something on the mic, and if it's a crime, you better watch your lyrics. So when Young Boy and them got arrested, and by the way, it's different in Georgia, you get indicted. But they got the state Rico Act. That means they are street gang. And there ain't but 3 street gangs classified in the United States. 12, 24-year-old youths, street gang. Prison, street gang. Outlaw motorcycle club, Hell's Angel, street gang. But they won't get tried up under state law because their level of sophistication and structure and the element of a criminal enterprise exists to where when it's Crips looking at it as the Fed, it's local, it ain't crossing state lines, and also they're committing crimes which are more pettier and they don't have the wherewithal or the structure to go and bribe a city council member, to take 2 cents off the dollar in the garment district, to control trash trucks. You know, in other words, inside pressure, like the mafia, that's a criminal enterprise. So now when it comes to a street gang, that's street level stuff. So that's when they could give you life. They've always had this. They just never enforces it across the United States. So now the next thing that is occurred is they unsealed the indictment. That means that they had indictment already, and then they decided to unseal it. But what happens in Georgia when you unseal the indictment, if you'd have looked at the first footage of it when they were in court for arraignment, their lawyer, high paid you might add, kept asking about, first he started off repeatedly talking about trying to get him a bail, right?
Yeah.
And that wasn't gonna work. Then the next thing he did is say, give us a bail date hearing. She said, I can't give you that. That's on another presiding judge. Whereas most states, you'll be in court in 72, 48 hours and got a standard bail or go to preliminary. Not in Georgia. What happens is the next step is you don't know when you're going to court. You don't know in Georgia. They just wake you up. Then they'll get a bail hearing. Then they come back the other day and they charged him with some more charges where I was looking at, and they would infer that these charges came from the indictment, added on. But what it was, when they went to arrest him for the indictment, they found other illegal shit. Now, this is where the arraignment shit start different, because these are new charges. And if you'd have looked on Camp Capone before this one, you'll see I say what's going to happen is they're going to give them some more charges within 90 days, because that's how long you have to unseal an indictment. So what's is, which is what you saw, they went to court, gave them new charges and no bail. That's because when they raided that house, they have 90 days where they're already in jail, and then they're going to go instruct the jury, and impanel a jury, a grand jury. And then they're going to present that evidence, and they got 90 days. So what happened was, after they caught the other case, they had to sit 90 days. They will sit 90 days. And then the jury came back and they gave them new charges. And I also said what they should do as a defense, you got two choices now. You got the Rico indictment and you got state charges. So you have to figure out, you're going to either consolidate them and bring them both together to be tried together, or you're going to severance them, like you splitting the artery where you go here, then go there next. I suggest that they split them, because if you take this case here and add it with that, they'll be able to tell about that, and the people know, oh shit, he doing more than this on some other shit. So they in a bunch of shit right now. And that's what I can say about the young thug there. But I also heard Fana Williams, that's the prosecutor that indicted him, which a lot of people don't know because they don't do their research, they're careless listeners. She the one that prosecuted Trump for voter fraud during the election. So she's a hitter. But I heard her say something that hurt my ear. You know what she said?
What?
Two more indictments
coming. Yep.
She's not saying that because they can come back and run the tape and say, you promised this, and be like, anybody just say something like, and you never see it. Somebody else better get indicted.
Somebody coming.
Oh, it's done.